can change reality. One of the companies I work with is, here he mentioned, is IBM. I do some strategic advising to their CEO and their top C-suite, and they shared a statistic with me that has not been published, but they said I could share with you. So I'm going to do that because it's pretty impressive. And that is last year, 43%, I'm going to say that again because it's big, 43% of revenue last year for IBM came from products and services that were impossible to do 2 years earlier. They're impossible 2 years ago. 43%. By the way, let me ask you something. Do you think that number's going to go down or go up? It's probably going to go up rather than go down because we're at this unique period in time. Speaking of IBM, they've got a supercomputer, Watson. And there's more than one type of supercomputer. Watson is a cognitive computer, which is different than Google's deep learning, which is different than some of the others. In other words, they don't all do the same thing. They're all quite different. And you might say, well, which is best? And I would say it depends on what you're trying to do. So I want you to know what is possible. So let's just talk about IBM's Watson for just a minute. So it's a cognitive computer, which means you don't program it, you teach it. It's not good at math, because you all know computers are zeros and ones, right? It's all math. It's actually good at language. It's not that good at math, which is kind of nice since we're humans and we're much better at language than we are at math. So it's like a kid. You teach it. So I was at a meeting about a year and a half ago in Toronto, and there were 200 people in that meeting. And in the evening, we had a meal that was designed by Watson, the supercomputer. And it was a combination of ingredients and flavors that no human chef, believe me, would put together. I mean, have you ever sat down to a meal that was kind of unique, and you looked and you thought, I don't know if I'm going to like this? And it actually worked out, but there were combinations. This was a combination that would make you say, whoa, I don't know about this. But I'll tell you right now, everybody, including me, everybody, and some of them were home hobbyist chefs on their own because they love to cook, we all loved it. So I got a question for you. I want you to think of the answer in your mind. I know the answer. I'll give it to you. How long did it take the Watson supercomputer to not just read, because that could be fast if it's digital, not just read, learn everything in over 1 million cookbooks. In 1 million cookbooks. Learn the whole thing. As well as read everything that was ever written on the science of taste, and read everything that was in the science of smell, very important if you want to make something really great for a human, so that it could create a meal that you would love. How long did that take? Think of a number. It's impressive. Okay, the answer is that whole thing took 1 second. That whole thing took 1 second. Now, by the way, do you think that number will be shorter next year or longer? And you'll probably already know the answer. Hey, it's going to be shorter, because we're not going backwards in time, we're going forwards in time.